Alright lads and lasses, welcome back to the best Newcastle United news source out there. As always, we've got the latest updates straight from St James Park. And today, we're diving into a transfer saga that's been dragging on for quite some time. Marc Guehi. Now, if you've been following Newcastle's transfer moves over the past year, you'll know that Guehi has been a top target for us. The lad's a rock at the back, young, experienced in the Premier League, and exactly the type of player we need to solidify our defense for years to come. Last summer, we pushed hard to sign him, but Crystal Palace stood firm, demanding what they called superstar money. Fair play to them, but we all know that in football, things can change fast. Fast forward to now, and there are whispers that Palace might be softening their stance. Their manager, Oliver Glasner, has dropped a pretty big hint that the main reason Guehi wasn't sold in January was simply because they didn't have a replacement lined up. That's a huge shift from the firm, not for sale position they held last summer. If Palace can secure a new centre-back before the window opens, Guehi could well be on the move. And let's be honest, if he does go, Newcastle should be right there, leading the charge. He's exactly the kind of player Eddie Howe loves. Aggressive, composed on the ball, and a leader at the back. But of course, there's a catch. Signing Guehi won't just be about paying Palace's asking price. His wages could be a big issue. We're hearing that he'd want around 170k per week to make the switch to Newcastle. That's more than Bruno Guimaraes is earning right now. Now that raises an important question. Is he worth breaking the wage structure for? There's no denying Guehi's quality, but would giving him that kind of money cause unrest in the dressing room? If he walks in as our highest paid player, you can bet others, Bruno, Isak, Trippier, might start knocking on the door for pay rises. These are the tough decisions that Dan Ashworth and the club's leadership have to make. That being said, top teams need top players. If Newcastle want to keep pushing for Champions League football and competing with the best, we need signings like Guehi, with Botman and Shaw both facing injury issues. At times, another reliable centre-back is a must. If Palace are finally willing to negotiate, this summer could be the time to get it done. What do you reckon, lads? Is Guehi worth the big wages? Should we go all in for him, or are there better options out there? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, before we wrap up, we've got another big transfer update coming up. Jonathan David's situation is getting interesting, and Newcastle might be set for a massive transfer blow. Stick around for that, because it's one you won't want to miss. Alright lads, let's get into part 2. This one's a bit of a gut punch. We've been keeping a close eye on Jonathan David for a while now, but it looks like Newcastle United might be set to miss out on the Canadian striker. Reports are now suggesting that he's in advanced talks with Barcelona, and unless something drastic happens, it seems like he's no camp bound this summer. Now, let's break this down. Newcastle have been scouting David for months. He's been lighting it up for Lille, scoring 104 goals in 217 appearances. An incredible return for a young striker. The lad is quick, clinical, and would have been a fantastic addition to our attack. We even tried a cheeky $10 million bid in January, but Lille weren't having any of it. Fair enough, really. They knew his contract was winding down, and that there'd be plenty of competition for his signature come summer. And that's exactly what's happened. Aston Villa, Chelsea, Spurs, West Ham, Man United, Inter Milan, Juventus, all of them have been circling. But Barcelona, that's a whole different ballgame. David has been open about his dream to play for Barca for a long time. He even said last year that they were the team he grew up supporting. And let's be honest, when a player's heart is set on a move like that, it's tough to convince him otherwise. So where does that leave Newcastle? Well, it's a bit frustrating because we were smart about this one. We didn't rush in with a massive bid in January, knowing Lila would reject it. Instead, we kept our cards close to our chest, hoping to swoop in with a free transfer deal in the summer. But now, with Barca making their move, that plan is looking shaky. It's also a bit of a reality check. Newcastle are in a tricky financial position due to profitability and sustainability rules, so we can't just throw money around like some of the bigger clubs. That's why we're having to be patient and strategic with our transfers. But when you're up against a club like Barcelona, who still carry a massive global reputation, sometimes that patience doesn't pay off. Now here's the big question. Should Newcastle fight for David, or is it time to move on? There are still a few things that could play in our favour. For one, Barca's financial situation isn't exactly stable. They're known for having issues registering new players. And if that happens again, David could be left in limbo. Also, let's not forget, we're not the only English club that wants him. If things fall apart with Barcelona, Newcastle could still be in with a shout. But if David is truly set on Barca, then maybe it's best we focus our efforts elsewhere. There are still quality strikers out there who could fit Eddie Howe's system perfectly. The question is, who do we go for next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who should Newcastle target as our next big striker signing? Alright, that's all for now, folks. Another transfer window is on the horizon, and you can bet Newcastle United will be making some serious moves. As always, stay tuned for all the latest updates. We'll keep you posted on everything happening at the best club in the world. Away the lads! See you in the next one.